Shalom. Apostle coming back at you. This truth given all praises to Yahweh Hashem Makadosh. And I'm going to title this video The Conspiracy to Keep Us Asleep, or the conspiracy to keep us blind or blinded. Blind is a better word. The conspiracy to keep us blind to the truth. So I gave you a couple of titles I can work with. I'm gonna put one of them up. Anyway, this is a response video that the demon clown Vocab Malone put up, entitled "If You're into Hebrew Israelism, you're probably into conspiracy theories." Yeah, conspiracies take place every day. You know, a man and a woman get married years later. She's dealing with another guy, and they set him up, put a insurance policy on him, and then kill him, make it look like an accident, and they collect on the money. That's a conspiracy. Conspiracy, and when you look up the word conspired, it comes up, 19 times in the scriptures. But if you play with the different words, it's conspire, conspiracy, conspire. Go to the root of the word in the Hebrew and in the Greek. Like, for example, when they wanted to kill the Apostle Paul, there was 40 men. Let me see if I can find that. Bear with me for a minute. Anybody see the movie Nope yet? Let me know. A minute. It's in the book of Acts. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, this is what I wanted. Acts 23, verse 13. And then we click on it. A conspiracy to kill Paul. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would never eat, which is a curse. You tell yourself you're not going to eat until this happens. If that doesn't happen, you're going to starve to death. So they brought a curse unto themselves, saying that's how much they hated the truth, that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. You killed this nigga. And they were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy. There's a conspiracy right there. Okay. Yeah, these guys are preoccupied with conspiracies. They think Oh, what he says in the video, if you watch it, it's short. Was it 4 minutes long, 6 minutes long? He says the fact that, how does he put it? Anyway, we saying that we are the Israelites. We know that the certain of the elite or the elite know that we're not, that they're not the Israelites, or they're not the so-called Jews, but we are. And he said, yeah, they're going around believing that they know. Of course they know. And you don't know if they know or not because they didn't tell you, because you're not an insider unless you're privy to that information and you're set up that way. We believe you're set up. So let me see here. Conspiracy. Yeah. Someone asked a question on Soneta's the video that he put up, the debate between he fancies himself as chief high priest Alazar and and Garfield, and he says, I wonder what GMS, and he mentioned my name, Tahar, has to say about this debate. I saw most of it. I kind of, to be honest, I listened to all of what Alazar said, but not too much to what Garfield said. He kind of, we're going to say that stuff that they always use. Oh, well, camels didn't exist in those days, and I had to fast forward. So, Alazar won the debate, but that's prejudice, prejudice on my behalf. And see, while you guys are bucking up against calling yourself debunking what we're teaching, we're getting stronger. We're getting more evidence. There's all kind of evidence, man. There's all kind of evidence. I have this book entitled, and what is it? James Adair, History of the American Indians, and all throughout that book, he traded with them for a number of years, and his conclusion was that these people have to be Israelites, Hebrews, one of the tribes of Israel. He didn't say they were Gad, but he said that they were Israelites. He said there were certain words, and I may do a video on that. We already know, you brothers in the know, you already know about the book. It's a hard book to find, and if you can find it, you better have. If you can find it, somebody selling on the street, they don't know what they got. You say, how much is that book? And they say $10, you jump on it, But it's already been put out there. But like I said, most are willing. I may do a video on that book. He said that he noticed that they called on the name of Yahweh, but they didn't quite pronounce it. Or they could have pronounced it, but he wrote it wrong, So that could be error on his behalf. But whether they said Yahweh or Yahuwah or Yahweh, they were very close. So who calls on Yahweh? Israelites. And the fact that they wear fringes on their garments. They adopted a lot of pagan practices that they brought when they came from Assyria to the New World. They knew about the New World, which is the Americas, because Solomon had a navy go back and forth. Because remember, America was a paradise. This is before this devil turned this place into a wilderness. And when I say wilderness, I really mean that they chopped down most of the trees and put buildings up. But this place was a tropical paradise. They had a lot of gold here. But anyway, that's going into the history there. So Okay, so I looked at the word conspiracy, a swearing together. And that's what it means, a swearing together. Because you really can't conspire on your own, although there's references to this guy conspired against that guy. Well, the the actual definition of conspire or conspiracy, let's break the word down. Con meaning with, and spire meaning to breathe. Breathe, breathe with. So if you and somebody else get together and say we're going to do this to this individual, well, you're breathing together. You're coming. You're you know you're. It's a meeting of the minds to do something. You know, the husband's wife, she's having an affair with a guy, and they said, well, let's kill my husband, and let's not just kill him. Let's, you know, let me put a insurance contract on it so we can get some money. That's why when a woman is killed, you know, she's stabbed 28 times. First of all, that's a crime of passion. So we know that the person that killed her was, you know, was close relationship wise. So the first thing you look at, woman's killed. You say, well, who was her husband? Husband's name is Joe Smo. You find out that he the day after the murder, there's records him leaving JFK going to Mexico. They track him down. First thing that comes up, woman dies. Where's her husband? Uh, you know, husband's there, cooperates. They found out she's having an affair. Okay, love triangle. The guy gets jealous because she won't leave her husband. It's called conspiracy. Well, actually, when the man and the woman get together to kill her husband, put an insurance policy, that's a conspiracy because they're breathing together. And that's what these small hats and the elite, everything that these elite are doing is a conspiracy, you know, and people are beginning to wake up to it because they're finding out their so-called prime ministers and their presidents, their heads of state, you know, attended the the WAIF meeting, the World Economic Forum. Oh, they were there in the audience, so they're members. You know, people are beginning to understand how secret societies work and how you have to be a member. You have to prove yourself. You know, the Skull and Bones, a good movie to watch is what's the damn movie? It's with Matt Damon. It was dealing with the Yale secret societies. Damn, I can't think of it. I saw it, but I couldn't, I can't. I was appalled. I was not appalled. I was surprised that they showed you the truth, and they do that for the. See, the average person looks at it as somebody, you know, wrote a script and really doesn't happen. There was another movie put out called The Skull. It was about fraternity, secret order. When they show you what goes on in the at Yale, the Skull and Bones, so forth. Both uh, presidential candidates, uh, this guy, Baby Bush and John Kerry, come to find out that they're actually cousins. They're all closely related, and that's a conspiracy in itself. And then it was asked by Tim Russett, who mysteriously died of a heart attack not too long after the interviews. He interviewed both of them, and this was for Baby Bush, to be the incumbent, president, to become president again. So he's going up against Kerry. Just found out, oh, they're cousins, so they're family. Um, they also were members of the Skull and Bones, and this guy Tim Russett questioned them about that, and they said, "Oh, we can't say nothing about it." So what is it? It's a conspiracy, a cabal. All right. So conspiracy, right? A swearing together. That's what it means. A swearing together. Break the words up. Con meaning with, and inspire mean to breathe. To breathe together. Two, it only takes two people to conspire against somebody. Or it could be 1,000 people, as in the super elite. They do everything behind closed doors. Okay, you're going to act like you're for the people. You know, you're going to help, you're going to kiss little babies, you're going to give out turkeys, you're going to do this, you're going to do all this, you're going to get the love of the people. Then when you become mayor or governor, and normally that's how it works. You start off as a community activist, you might be a state senator, you might run for mayor, you might lose the first time, you might come back and become mayor. Then from becoming mayor, you may become a senator, as this guy from Jersey, which he's a Mo, he's dealing with that Ephraimite actress, who, by the way, she's Irish, her father's Irish. So does that make her Ephraimite? Anyway, he's senator. Sometimes you go from mayor to governor, to president. DeSantis out of Florida, the governor of Florida, he's looking to become the president. He might just get it, because ain't no Democrat gonna be the president this go around. They're getting rid of the Democrats. It's the Republican time anyway. So they have marching orders from their conspiracy, from that cabal or that conspiracy. So conspiracies are all around us. Conspiracies are all around us, and conspiracy of these people calling themselves, the small hats. I work with a lot of them. Trust me, they truly believe that they're the small hats because they don't know. They truly believe that they're those people. But then it's the elite that keeps that lie going. Remember, the Rothschilds was behind the whole state of Israel thing in 1948. He was going there surveying the land long before 48. But too many of us are waking up. Anyway, what I'm going to do here, like I said, if you go to Etaman online, the word conspiracy means kind, with, and breathe, or breathe together. Don't let anybody else know that people are waking up to the conspiracies all around them. Okay, so now let's come back over here to okay. I'll let you listen to a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna go to the comment section. Let me come back. It's only 4 minutes, so let me listen. Let me let you listen in. Hebrew words, if you want to, preoccupation a lot of times with them. Okay, and then lastly, conspiracy theories. This isn't directly related to their beliefs. I'm just telling you a broad category of a lot of Israelites adopt lots of conspiracy theories. Now, one out of every, I'm sure, 100 or something like that, conspiracy theories have some kind of truth or something like that. But there's a key element of Hebrewism, conspiracy theory, about all kinds of things. But if you think about it, their central claim is a conspiracy theory. The greatest identity theft and swap of all time has happened. Do you see what I'm saying? Literally, the people of God. And these mind-numb idiots are laughing. Oh, come on. Oh, are you kidding me? Meanwhile, everybody, look, when you go to YouTube and you look at the thumbnail and there's like a church thumbnail, they don't get views. They don't get views, all right? They 15 to 3 people watching because nobody wants to be a Christian. Christianity is played out. Christianity is played out. And each and every day, there's more and more of our people waking up to the fact that they're the Israelites. Now, this guy, Geno Jennings, had a close call. This was the guy that was challenging everybody. He was known for having debates. But when the IUIC stepped up to him, called the cops on him, come on. He knows he will get his ass handed to him. He knows he would get his proverbial ass handed to him. You cannot deal, and you a big failure. Look at the demonic hand signs. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the demonic hand signs. That's to let the insiders know, look, you know, I'm getting them. I'm gonna bring them back. I'm gonna bring all these Christians back. So let's listen to a little bit more.
They had been replaced by another people, and those other people forgot who they were.
Exactly. That's why it says that's why the Lord said, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because they're lost of who they are. Those the Gentiles or the heathens in the New Testament are all lost sheep. They forgot who they were. So they had to be, you know, brought back into the fold, so to speak.
Do you see? The name claim is a conspiracy theory. And a lot of them believe this is known by the elites. And
yeah, because when you picked us up, we were speaking Hebrew. We knew that we were Israelites. When there was if you go to like to be sold, you know, fine healthy Negroes, 34 fine healthy Negroes, 150 fine healthy Negroes. Some of those posters would be to be sold, a cargo of 150 fine healthy Hebrews. They were trying to say Hebrews. They were calling us Negroes because they were taking us from a region that close to Negro land. The Zandervan Bible Dictionary says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the sun, before the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark nations, not the Negroes. Why they say not the Negroes? Aren't we dark nations? Didn't we come from Africa? So they know something. Then he mentions the sons of Ham, Put, Mizraim, which are known as the Egyptians. That was a Greek word. Canaan and Cush. Cush are the Ethiopians. I have a cousin that married a Cushite, an Ethiopian, and I told him he was a Cushite. He said, I already know I'm a Cushite. I know I'm a biblical Cushite. So the people over there in the land of Cush know that they're Cushites. And this is why the small hats back in the 80s, they've discovered the Jews of Ethiopia, which they named them the Nephilasha, which means false. And they said, we're going to bring these are the descendants of the real Jews. Well, they look just like us. The scripture say they name us. We look just like the Ethiopians. So you're losing big time, vocab.
hidden. And so a lot of times they think Hollywood's in on it because they'll say Hollywood's ran by Jews. Jews know the truth.
There's movies on that. What movie is that? I think it was Clockers, if I'm not mistaken, with Mekhi Phifer, and he was a main guy. And the man never acted. Mekhi Phifer, he just got in the movie. He never went to acting school. Good actor. And Harvey Keitel was in the movie. And what's this dude that played King in Platoon? I've ran into him a bunch of times. You know, he's from the city. David Keith, whatever. He was in the movie Platoon. But anyway, he was in the same movie Clockers. And Harvey Keitel said in the movie, in the middle of the movie, he said, "I'm a yo." He said, "I'm a yo. I'm a black Hebrew Israelite." There's Hollywood. They threw it in there. Uh, what is it? What is it? Farewell to Nigga Charlie, I think it's called. I forget these movies. Nigga Charlie or something with Fred Williamson. He goes to kill this so-called white man, and he said, "In the name of the God of Israel," and Fred Williamson shoots him, blows him away, and he says, "The Israelites are black." What other movies? So they'll throw them in there. You know, they'll tease you. They'll throw in the fact that we're the Israelites. In the movie Shaka Zulu, they looked over the Edomites and they said, "Who are those people over there?" And I believe, I forget the exact quote, either Shaka Zulu said that or someone that was next to him. He said, "Oh, those are the Jews." Whatever. If you know these movies, you can put them down in the description box or the comment section. But you can't. This is a freight train. This is a train that you can't stop. You Edomites, you are nothing but cardboard figures in front of a train that's not going to stop. You're going to get ran over. So let's listen to a little bit more of this madness, and I'm gonna go to the comments of this video.
Sometimes they think they put it in movies to wink at the audience, basically. And so Hebrews will find strange parallels with stuff that they say is evidence that they know. The weirdest one I ever heard, I almost need to repeat this one, is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They think it's the Jewish way to portray what's going to happen in the kingdom.
Okay, let me tell you a story. High Priest Ariel told me the story many, many years ago. Somehow we were talking about, there was a bunch of us, we were talking about and I believe he said it on the street. He said it a couple of times. When the movie Planet of the Apes came out, what was that, 67? I think it was 67, 68. I was a kid. I remember going to the theaters with a bunch of friends and we saw the movie. We didn't understand what it meant. There's another movie. But Ariel is like 20 years older than me. So when I saw the movie, I was what, I don't know, 7, 8, I don't know. So depending on when the movie came out. And Ariel was a grown man. He was in his mid-20s. And what they used to do back in the day when you had these movie premieres at certain theaters, they would set up props, cardboard props, and it would be a big thing. I remember movies when you had to dress up. We used to go to the movies on Sundays. You had to dress up like you're going to church. I remember we saw the movie The Bible. My mother took me and my brothers and sisters, and she actually dressed us up in suits, suits and dresses and all that. And like we were going to church because it's the Bible. You got to respect the movie. And so when the Planet of the Apes came out, there was a big theater in Harlem, and they had set up those props. And you know what they did? They had set up one of the heads of the Planet of the Apes, Cornelius, either Dr. Zeus or General Ursus was the other one. Help me out. Anyway, one of them is standing in front of a podium, and there's a book open. So what are they telling you? They're telling you that these are the people of Israel. They're reading out of the Bible. What's the connection? They used the ram's horn, and they put Edomites into captivity. So this is Esau telling you, and out of Hollywood, this is for the insiders, the ones in the know, the elite, the conspirators, excuse me. that yeah, these people, they're gonna take us over. And the whole thing about the movie was Charlton Heston thought he was on another planet, but he found out at the end of the movie that the planet was Earth in New York, and he bugged out. In other words, these apes, took over humans, and those apes are us. They call us apes. You guys look like monkeys, right? So they show you different things in movies. There's a term, predictive programming. They show you things before it takes place in the future. So, or like the charagma, they showed you that in movies. Show you that in a handful of movies. The whole thing about the charagma, and he doesn't speak about that. So let's listen to a little bit more.
And the old Planet of the Apes, you remember the scene where the apes are on horseback throwing nets at the humans? Some Hebrews like to use that as an example of what's going to happen in the kingdom. They're going to be catching Edomites.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be capturing Edomites. We're going to gather the Edomites. And you are an Edomite until you prove otherwise. You better hope like hell you're at least a light-skinned Hamite or something. You ain't gonna get it as bad. But if you're an Edomite, you're gonna be infamous in the kingdom. We might be renting this devil out. If I get him, I'm gonna rent him out. Rent vocab for a day. Oh, and he's gonna be skinny, he's gonna be skinny. Like we're gonna work his ass off. Let's listen to some more.
So that some of them will look for weird, especially the Matrix. But everyone spiritualizes the Matrix. We already know that. Everyone thinks they've been red pilled, right? But conspiracy theories abound.
When you watch the series, there was a handful of movies of the Matrix. They show one of them. I didn't keep up with all of them. I saw the first one. I got into the first one. The second one I saw. Third one, but they showed that place, and they were all Jake. They were all Jake. You know. Oh, and by the way, the key character Neo, which is played by Keanu Reeves. They when they wrote the story, they wanted Will Smith, and they went to Will Smith. Oh, we got a role for you. You're gonna play Neo. He turned it down. He shouldn't have turned it down. You know. But then the second pick was Keanu Reeves, but um, they wanted Will Smith to play that, and what is this guy? The guy played by Morpheus. Morpheus. He was Jake. He was Jake. All right. So that they put it out there, you know.
With these folks, all kinds of conspiracy theories. I'll tell you my favorite one, and then we'll close right there. It's that King James was black. I think we've already talked about this once, but a lot of them believe King James was black. The reason is because a lot of them have an emphasis on the King James, and you can't have a white guy in charge of the translation. And so they give strange evidences that King James black, such as he was from the house of Stuart, and Stuart in some language means black. It's a hint that he's black, right? And I'll show you some picture that's been photocopied and compressed. I'm like, doesn't he look like doesn't he look like Billy D. Williams here? Something like that, right? Yeah, and I think Star Wars first and real life second. Landro, it's not a system. He's a man. Can you trust him? No, but he has no love for the Empire. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because you gotta watch a nigga in outer space. You run into a nigga in outer space, don't trust his ass. That's what they were saying.
I'm trying to save you. Thanks. Okay, anyways. So we'll stop there. I know I go fast, there's a lot there. But the key things I'm trying to leave you with is you're getting an introduction, you're learning how diverse it is, and then you're learning some basic things of here's some Bible passages we can go to. And even if you don't remember, you're hopefully gaining confidence. You're not crazy. They're not right. I'm not saying they're never not right, but they will try to gaslight you and oh my gosh, You can have confidence in scriptures, and you learn a bit how to ask diagnostic questions to understand where they're at and to get them to think. You want to get to the place where you learn how to use questions, you also have them think. And a lot of times they will, even if they don't let on right then. A lot of times they will, yeah. And that's how witnessing works, right? Who knows if the speech that Stephen gave when he was being stoned affected Paul years later? I don't know. All right? Yeah. So you might have to be a Stephen.
This guy is teaching you, basically teaching you a course on how to deal with the Israelites. You people that come to Israelites, you always get your asses, your proverbial asses handed to you, right? And this guy knows nothing about prophecy, so he's not an expert at all. He doesn't know the Bible. All he does is spew out that madness that he got from the theological cemetery, and now they're using that word, the IUIC. They call a cemetery schools. They got that from me. You know, you guys just love me. My man, Deacon Hagar is using the pineal. Got your pineal gland is decalcified. I heard you say that. Where'd you get that from, brother? Where you get that from? Anyway, let's listen to a little bit more of this madness.
You might get a little rocky, but you share the gospel even in this persecution, and let the Lord do the rest.
He's pushing the book. Everything about this guy is money. You want to hear a corny rap? Is spitting some corny juice. You got to pay $50. Who the hell wants to listen to this guy call himself rhyming anyway with his whack ass rhymes? Anywho, let's go to the comment board. Okay, cold jello, which is number pork. What should all what we should all be waiting for as the Israelites to go to war with the ones who think they are Egyptians while using authentic Bronze Age weapons, armor, clothing. Whatever the hell that means. Father, lead more of these BHI's members to truth and repentance in Jesus' name. Mighty name. And what Jesus means, earth pig. Doesn't mean nothing. Oh, that's the English way of saying Joshua. Jesus is just a two-syllable sound. G and sus. What does sus mean? What does G mean? Jesus loves you, vocab. Yeah, Caesar Borgia does love him. Outstanding. Enemy, whatever. We love you, vocab. Okay, so I'm going to get into this brother, True Seeker. Facts. A remnant say 144. This is getting pathetic. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you're terrible. This man is good. Vocab Malone is good. Yeah, good and terrible. Sandwich, I guess the word of the one called God is a conspiracy theory too. Huh. Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So when did that happen, vocab? Sounds like a conspiracy to me. There's a group of people that came together that said, we're going to make sure they don't remember that they're the people. When did that happen? Do a video on that. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. The truth seeker. These people are clowns, man. Before I read this comment, Iceman says, writes, you are cherry picking the Bible out of context as usual. Your primary belief is we are the people, and the Bible to you is secondary to that belief. This is why you can't deal with these bug outs, these zombies, these complete bug outs. So, truth seeker, when is the next smoke room vocab? Because this is another fail. Isaiah 44, verse 7, verse 5 to 7. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. And that's us. We were called Black, African American, colored folk. And we come to the realization through the Spirit that we're the Israelites. And that's a fulfillment of Ezekiel chapter 37, one of the most important prophecies in the scriptures, in my opinion. I might go read through some of it. That's why you have a 12 tribe sign. All Israel is not of Israel, meaning the Israel of the Most High, the elect of Israel. The Most High is dealing with Israel, but he's dealing with the elect, the chosen elect of his people. The ones that are out there, grinding on the highways and the byways, doing videos. Okay, it says, as well as Ezekiel 35, verses 10 to 15. And I read that, I'll read it again. Ezekiel 36, verse 1 to 5. So let me go to Ezekiel. Let me do it this way. Okay, Ezekiel 35, verse 10, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of the hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. I'm going to find out it's the Edomites he's going to judge, ultimately judge. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain meaning government of Israel, the Israelites, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. And when you go to the history of the slave trade, these Edomites, they used to, kill Jake and eat him. These are some real demons, man. Those I consider a delicacy. And that's a book. That's from a book entitled "The Delectable Negro." Let me see if I can find it. A book called "The Delectable Negro." It says 13 verse. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate. And what part of this Esau's world is he going to make desolate? Babylon. Read Revelation 18. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel. What's the inheritance? Okay, inheritance of the house of Israel. Machala, machala, possession, property, inheritance, heritage, property, portion, share, inheritance, portion. Inheritance starts with the land, but it's also heritage. Let's look up the word heritage in the Common Dictionary. What the hell just happened? Do that again. Heritage, property that is or may be inherited, an inheritance, a special or individual possession, an allotted portion. That's our land. Let's come back over here. That's why it says two nations and two countries, and we will possess. So if you're going to be in that land, you got to call yourself the people. Keep the lie going. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, when the whole world rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. They're talking about Babylon the Great. 15 verse, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, you took our land because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, which is a people, before it's a place, mountain representing government, and all Idumea, the Edomites, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. This is yet to take place. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go, let's see what the commentary says. Bible Hub I always deal with. Let's see what Cambridge has to say. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Porter J. Porter and Quito's Encyclopedia Art. Hey, do me. Let me try something. Let me just try something. I want to try something. Come over here. See what this is all about. Bear me for a minute. Come on now. Yeah, they hiding something. Encyclopedia. Let's do it this way. I guess you got to buy the book. They don't want this truth to come out. That's what it is. Encyclopedia of Biblical Literature. Let me come back. Let me do this. Let's try to find out who the Edomites are. We don't know who the Edomites are. Right? Oh, Herod, Edomite. Idumea. Let me go to images. They're showing you the land. Idumean. Let's look up Idumean. Oh, this is the god. Don't that look like Manilow? Barry Manilow. You're gonna tell me look like a small hat? I believe this is Antipater, Herod. Herod, but I believe that's Antipater, the Edomite. Let me do this. Antipater. Let's do it this way. Okay, that's Antipater. They're saying it's Herod, but he's the father of Herod the Great. That's a so-called white man. He looks like vocab. Herod the Great. Antipater. Does that look like a black person to you? That's what an Edomite looks like. Antipater. Antipater is an Edomite, son of Herod the Great. Okay, so let's go back over here. We read all of this. I'm sorry, let's finish reading the last verse. 15th verse. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, the land of Israel, these two countries are ours, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee, thou shalt be desolate. Destroy the whole land. Isaiah 13. O Mount Seir, the government of Esau, and all in all Idumea, all the Edomites, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So this is going to be fulfilled in the near future. The mountains of Israel to be blessed. Future prophecy. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, which are the people before the place, hear the word of the Lord. And that's what they're doing, is Ezekiel 37. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Who has the high places in their possession? These Edomites, the small hats. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up. On literally in slavery, they did that. We were a delicacy. Look up the book, The Delectable Negro. Every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people. Infamy is the opposite of fame, famous in a negative way. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord, talking about the people, power. Thus saith the Lord, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision of the residue of the heathen that are around about the other nations. The small hats, number one. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, the Most High, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, all the Edomites. That's why when you go to Obadiah 1 verse 18, it said we're going to gather when the two kingdoms come back together, the northern and the southern kingdom. That's going to happen, be fulfilled in the kingdom. We're going to enslave the Edomites and other nations, and then we're going to gather them together and we're going to burn them up, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy before, therefore, concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. You shall leave your name as a curse upon my chosen. You're not Israelites, you're niggas. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up mine hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame, because the truth is coming out and the whole world is waking up to it. You can't stop this train. But ye, O mountains of Israel, which is the people before the place, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. I love this precept. For Israel is at hand to come. That's a topic right there. And yield your fruit to my people Israel, the Israelites, for they are at hand to come. The kingdom is coming. But behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. You're going to grow. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it. And the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded. And I will multiply upon you men and beasts. That's the kingdom. That's when this man is taken down, and by fire. And they shall increase and bring forth, and I will settle you after your old estate, old estate, old estate. So we're going back. We were there in the past, and we're coming back to our old estate, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. It says, I will settle you after your old estates. Let's look up the word estates. Something that you had in the past. Quadama. Antiquity, former state or situation. We was in the kingdom. We're living on the bottom. We're going to go back to the kingdom. The Most High is going to establish the kingdom, and we're going to be on top again. Before iniquity, ancient, the Most High will build the kingdom of David as in the days of old. That's what that means. Former state or state of situation before. We were great before. We're getting ready to be great again. Greater than we were from the beginning. Origin, antiquity, beginning, origin, former state or situation. What was our former state or situation? That we were the people, we were the Israelites. Let me go to Amos. Let me get ready to close it. Amos 9. Okay. I'll start at 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. The tabernacle of David, now this Alazar in his debate, I think he quoted, if I'm not mistaken, he quoted, what was it, Hosea 1 and 10. It says, and they shall appoint themselves one head. And then he said, Yahweh Shai, something like that. Now, I hope he's not thinking that it's talking about Yahweh Shai, even though Yahweh Shai is going to be the head over David, but the physical head, the first king on the planet Earth in the kingdom is going to be King David, which is Peter, which is Jacob, which is Zerubbabel. When the Lord said, ye shall sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel, Matthew's 19. What is that? Matthew's 9. Is it Matthew's 19:27, I believe it is. The first guy on the throne is going to be Peter, which is David. David is going to be the physical head, number one king number one. Then you have a king number two, king number three. You got John, you got James, you got the 12. And then you're going to have the rest of us as being kings, 144,000 kings. And then you're going to have a great multitude of kings. All the men of Israel will be kings, royal priests, and kings. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David, which is for, and by the way, the tabernacle of David are the elect. The tabernacle of David are the people that were with David, the righteous people that were with David when he was on the earth, and he's going to be on the earth again under Yahweh Shai. It says, David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. He's going to bring the two kingdoms together, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. What did we read in Ezekiel? What do we read in Ezekiel? Let me open up another. Where are we? Let me come over here. Let me go to, as Yaquab would say, Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel 36, just in case you forgot. Y'all must have forgot. Ezekiel 36, verse 11, and I will multiply upon you, the Israelites, man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estate, and will do better unto you than at your beginning, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. The restoration of Israel. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the what? And as in the days of old. We're going to go back to our old estate. That they may possess the remnant of Edom. Now, the remnant of Edom is talking about the land. We're going to take their land. Of course, we're going to put them in captivity. But after they're fired up, what's going to be there? We're going to take that land. That's a fulfillment of Abraham's prophecy, Genesis chapter 15. And of all the heathen lands, read the last few verses of Obadiah 1, which are called by my name, saith the Lord power that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman, now when you look up the word plowman or plowmen, it means you plowing the land, being a farmer, but not owning the land. So the plowman is us, shall overtake the reaper, the one that reaps the benefits, right? Who's reaping the benefits? The so-called, the small hat. You got Bill Gates buying up land. He's going to have people working the land, and he's going to reap the benefits. He's going to have plowmen out there. But guess what? All that's going to be, man, you are done. Esau, you are fucking done. You are done. And you vocab, you're a complete joke. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.